everyone, it's Monique here from Women Want Adventure, and I'm about to head out on a multi-day hike, and I thought I'd show you what I'm packing, what I'm bringing with me, and maybe you can pick up some tips for your next overnight hike. Now, everyone packs differently. We all have our favorite things and our can't live without items, but these are the essentials and usually the items that you'll need on most overnight trips. Now, to start off, you'll need a backpack. I use the Osprey backpacks. I'm heading out for 2 nights and I'm using a 65 litre pack. And before you start packing all of your gear, one of the main things you want to do is loosen all of your straps. So around the pack, loosen all the straps. I did this a little bit earlier, so sort of ready to go. Now, there's rain forecast for this weekend when I'm heading out, and even if there isn't any rain forecast, it's always a good idea to waterproof your gear. So after you've loosened your straps and you have your pack open and ready to go, I'll just loosen that one. I have a Cedar Summit pack liner. Oh, it's just really like a huge dry bag. You can get these from any good outdoor store, and you want to make sure you put that in first. You can also use what's called a dead dog bag. I know that sounds ridiculous, but if you go to your local vet and ask for a dead dog bag, they will give you a bag about this size and you can use it to line your pack. So you can see that there. I've lined my pack. Some people use individual smaller dry bags to put their gear in. My personal preference is I like to use the larger bag and then pack things in. Now, where I'm going this weekend, we're actually not going to use a tent. I'm going to be sleeping under a tarp, but I highly advise that if you're heading out, especially if it's one of your first overnight trips, bring a tent with you. Now, when you're packing your bag, you want to put the large, bulkier items in first. So I actually usually start with my, my thermarest, and I like to pack things in vertical. So put that down there. And you really, when you're packing, you're sort of like getting into your bag. You're putting a little bit of like effort in. Okay, and then I'm gonna look for something else that's a bit bulky. Maybe it's not too like hard, which is gonna be at the back of my pack that could, you know, dig into my back. I'm gonna get my sleeping bag. Now, that looks like a tiny sleeping bag, but what I did was I actually got my North Face sleeping bag and I took off the cover that it came in, and I bought a Cedar Summit small compression sack. You can buy these online from Cedar Summit, because most of you will notice, you know, your sleeping bag at home, after you use it for the first time, it's huge and you think, oh, it's going to take up my whole pack. So what you do is you replace it with this and it goes in nice and small. So we're going to pop that next to my thermarest, pop my mat in. Now, usually at about this time, I would put my tent in. So this is my tent. It's a single person wilderness equipment space tent. These are fantastic. They're super light, but this weekend, I'm probably going to be sleeping in some caves and under my tarp. So, sorry tent, you're not coming with me, which is good because I have more space in my bag now. Here's my tarp. It's a wilderness equipment tarp, super light. Now, when you're packing, you really want to try and look for that empty space to shove your items in. I'm going to put my sleeping bag liner. I don't always use this, but it can be used as a pillow as well. Put that in. This is a rain cover for my pack, so anything that you need to grab quite quickly because maybe it just all of a sudden started to rain, you want to put in what's called the brain of your pack. So there you go, brain, you're going in there. Now, because I might be sleeping on the ground and not in my tent, I went to Kmart and bought a ground mat for $4. You don't need to go and buy all the expensive gear. Kmart actually has some really good things that you can go and buy that will serve you very well, like this little ground mat. I actually might put that in the brain of my pack because when I stop for a cup of tea, I might want to sit on this instead of on the ground. The other thing I got from Kmart was these 1 litre little dry bags. Now, they're not 100% waterproof, but they are very handy for your loo paper. And talking about things we might need in a hurry, I just clip that to the outside of my pack. So we've got the main bulky items are in, and you can't really see it in this video, but there's a lot of air pockets and empty space. So up next, I'm gonna get my clothes. So I've got my down jacket, shove that. And when I say shove, you really need to shove it all the way down to the bottom. I've got one, inside out. I've got one merino top. Now, try your best not to bring cotton with you on your trips. I'm wearing one of our Women Want Adventure uniform tops just because I really want to protect myself from the sun. This is lightweight material from the North Face, and this is an icebreaker top. Merino is really great because it's quick dry. The next thing I'll need is a nice fleece jumper, usually at night. This is my jammies. I don't bring jammies. You can if you want to, but it's really just a waste of space. You want to just wear the same clothes. It doesn't matter if you stink a little bit. Now, really important, thermal bottoms and thermal tops. You can put these in a single bag, but it's already waterproof, so let's shove them in. All the way down the bottom. All right, there's still so much space in my pack. Extra room for some chocky. Now I've got my waterproof jacket here. I'm going to put that in the brain of my pack because again, I might need that in a hurry. So pop that in. I've got a beanie. Actually, chuck that in there. And then in terms of my other clothing items, you might bring your undies, bra, wear the same sports bra, maybe one pair of changing undies. If you're near a stream, sometimes you can wash out and rinse out your clothing, and if it is quick dry material, hang it up on a tree and yeah, it'll be good to go for the next day. All right, what else do we have here? Got my hiking poles. Don't need to pack those because I'll be using them. I've got a nice little 14-litre day pack. Guess what? Got it from Kmart. So on this hike that I'm going on, I might decide to set up for camp, and I don't want to use a 65-litre pack to maybe go and explore one of the peaks or caves. So I'm going to pop all my water in this light little 14-litre pack, so that can just get shoved in there. All right, up to the good bit, food. So in regards to food, you want to keep it as lightweight as possible, but also maximize your energy. So what you're eating is going to give you high energy value and nutrient value at the same time. You don't have to be eating 2-minute noodle meals. You can actually eat quite high quality meals. Now, I love my food, so I usually pack a little bit extra than I normally need. Now, it's all about pre-planning. So hope you can see okay, but what I've done here in Ziploc bags is I've pre-made quick oats with some dried banana. I've got some cranberries in there, and I don't eat dairy. So you can actually get like milk powder, you can get soy and almond powder, and I already put it in there already. So in the morning, got my little, this is a really good little Cedar Summit kit. We use these on our trips. In the morning, just so cute. Pops open like this, and then breakfast is ready to go with some hot water and a cup of tea. So I've got 3 breakfasts there. While I'm at it, I'll show you my little kitchen set. Here's my bowl. You don't need to bring a bowl and a plate. I usually bring a bowl, and then it can serve as a cheese platter if you want. And then my cup does the same thing, pops out as well. So I usually just keep them in their little container set, and I keep it in the brain of my pack because knowing Monique, I'm always hungry and I want a meal on tap. So with your food, it's a good idea that, see how I've got all the items out here, it can get a little bit messy, and in your pack, you don't want to just shove the food anywhere because sometimes it could spill or get lost. So I use these little Cedar Summit food bags. They're semi-waterproof as well, and usually I'm going to pick green for my breakfast, so I'll put all my breakfast in there. I've got my cup of tea. Might do another video specifically about food. Little packets of miso soup. They're great at lunchtime or before dinner. Now for dinner, I use the Strive Food dehydrated packs, well, just for this trip. Sometimes we dehydrate food, but I haven't had time this week. So Strive Foods, they're a Tasmanian company. These are really delicious, and because I love my veggies, I also bring like 1 zucchini along with me. And some people might think, oh, that's so heavy, but yeah, I really love feeling like I'm eating some greens when I'm outdoors. So I usually cut up a little bit of this, and this is my knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. It's an Opinel knife. They are super sharp, but lightweight. I can't even feel that I'm holding this in my hand. I'll put the link to this knife somewhere as well. I always keep that at the top of my pack. You never know when you're going to need a knife. So yeah, that's I put dinner in there. Sometimes I pre-cut up the fruit. Maybe I'll do that later on. Haven't decided yet. So yeah, that's one sort of bag of food. I'll pop that in a little bit later. And then in terms of snacks, I usually bring a couple of apples. Even though apples are heavy, they're really good for just source of fiber, keeping you regular. Out on hikes, we're usually eating like a lot of nuts and seeds. Again, personal preference. Some people have dried apple. I like the real thing, so I'm happy to take the weight. Now lunchtime, sorry, I'll go with snacks. Snacks, a few muesli bars. I always bring 1 extra muesli bar, bit of a backup emergency meal. Pan of chocolate, sesame seed snaps, super light, good energy source. Now, if you love your cheese and you're thinking, how am I going to bring cheese? How do I keep it cold? The Baby Bell cheese, that's a great choice that you can use, and you can put it on your wraps. So instead of taking the whole packet of wraps, I usually take about 3 out of here. Might put them in the same bag or another Ziploc bag. But for the purpose of this video, let's shove it in. This stuff is wild caught tuna. Now, don't bring tins of food with you. Even though this is also a little bit heavier, I'm going to share this with who I'm going hiking with, and usually this will last us for 2 or 3 days on our wraps. And then I always put extra elastic bands around it, why I remember at home, just to seal it up. So put that in there. Now, for those ladies that have met me, fried shallots, it's the best crunch you're ever going to have on your wrap, especially after you've been hiking all day, and then you put fried shallots on your wrap. It's a game changer. So you can get them from your Asian supermarket, or I think Coles and Woolies have them as well. All right, it goes in. Get all the air out as well. Pop her in. This one in. A Scroggin mix. I'll do another video about this one later. I usually put that at the top of my pack or in the brain of my pack, just because I like to snack all day long. I've got my spork, top of the pack. And you might decide that bringing a little container like this is helpful for some tomato chutney, maybe some avocado, some mayonnaise. So I find little containers are just helpful to have with you. I'll put something in there a little later on. Now, cooking. This is a jet boil. Most of you have seen me use these on trips to make you a cup of tea with your Anzac biscuit. Now, I'll do another video on jet boils later, but jet boils are fantastic. I cook all my meals on this. And yeah, that's just gonna pop in. There is some empty space inside the jet boil, so sometimes I put food, a smaller gas canister as well. Pop her in. Oh, she's filling up. It's not too bad. I've got a spare Cedar Summit bag. Probably not going to use that. I'm going for random items. This is a gas canister. A full one of this like medium size, really for one person could last you 6 to 8 days, depending how many meals you're cooking on it. So yeah, they last for quite some time. Okay, safety. It's really important that you tell someone where you're going, what you're doing, your expected route, and when you're going to be back. So I've already told my crew where I'm going, and I'm heading out with another Women Want Adventure guide. So yeah, we're in good hands together. But I have my compass, and I have a Cedar Summit dry bag, and that's where I sort of keep all of my safety gear. So might keep my compass handy. I have, for this particular trip, because we're going off trail, I've got my sat phone to order Uber Eats and get my updates about The Bachelor. Really. I have my battery charger. It's really important that you charge this before you go. Put all your cords. Head torch. Now this thing, a few of you have asked me about this. This is called a Lucy light, and I'm not going to do it now, but you blow it up and it's got a solar charger, and I usually put a little clip on it and attach it to the outside of my pack. So as I walk, it's getting charged throughout the day. I've got my chargers in here, my lighter, I also have matches, and I think that's it. Oh yeah, nope, spare rope. It's amazing how many times you need a little bit of spare rope. Now that's just water sealed. I don't want my sat phone getting wet. That goes at the top. First aid kit. It's all in here. Put that in. I'll do another video about what you should have in your first aid kit a little later on. Map. Got all my topo maps. I also have GPS and the topo maps on my phone. I've used a Cedar Summit map casing, and that just means that when I'm looking at my map outdoors, everything's kept nice and dry. I'm going to put the map in the little front pouch. Probably put my compass in there at the moment as well. Flip her up. We're nearly there. Okay. Oops, don't fall off. Water. So I'll have one water bottle with me, which will be a litre water bottle, and then I'll also have a bladder. Bladders are great so you can continually sip little bits of water throughout the day, and making sure you're keeping well hydrated. It's amazing how much extra water you really need to be drinking when you're outdoors. So my bladder, once everything is in, I fill it, make sure it's filled up, pop it on top, and then the funnel just sits on the outside. Now, at the end of the day, you want to take your hiking boots off. I use some Tiva shoes, and I also get a climbing clip. The clip's coming really handy. I don't really like to put wet shoes inside my bag, so I just clip it to the front of my bag. What else do we have? I've got my shoes. I don't have my shoes on at the moment. I wear the North Face hiking shoes. I'll show you those a little later. I always make sure I've got at least 2 to 3 pairs of socks as well. Socks are really important. I'll put those in later. And then gaiters. I'll show you my gaiters later on, but I'm terrified of snakes. I know a few of you watching this might be laughing that know me, but I really, really don't like snakes. It's not the only reason that you wear gaiters. The weather is warming up, so I will definitely be wearing gaiters because we are going off track on this trip. Gaiters are excellent when it's raining and really muddy as well. So my gaiters are ready to go. Of course, Monique's dorky hat. And this is a good tip. Your sunglasses, get one of these dorky sunglasses holders. You can get them for $4 from your local chemist. I don't know where this one is from, but oh, it's a game changer when you have the sunglasses case. I've probably forgotten something, but I hope that helps. We are providing a Women Want Adventure cheat sheet with links to gear, things you might need to know, and some hot tips. So I hope it helps for your next outdoor adventure, and I can't wait to show you where we are going. Thanks for watching.